All right, so I'm sitting here eating this press bowl, right? And I'm just thinking about how much my life has changed in the last 7 months now. And it's more, when I say change, it's more how I feel. Because I've mentioned before, your reality is whatever you envision. It's not what other people think of you. And so I feel that so much has changed in my life, and it's just the beginning still, and there's a lot of work to be done. But it made me think about what it means to work a 9 to 5 job. And what I mean by that is we talk about 9 to 5 work as if we label 9 to 5 work as a corporate job, okay? Or you work under someone. But the reality is no matter what you do in life, whether you work for corporate, you work for yourself, you're a contractor, anything really, you are always going to be working some sort of 9 to 5. We just label it this way. But if you're in business, you probably are working like 9 to 9. You know, like it's just a label that we give. So you're never going to escape that. But what makes life enjoyable that I've noticed is the fact that your work shouldn't feel like work. Right? Like, and at least 98% of your work shouldn't feel like work. There's a 2% when it comes to certain things that comes with any career passion you follow, that you're going to do some things that you don't really care to, but because it's such a small percentage of the job, you're kind of just like, okay, you know what? I love most of this, so this is not really that big of a deal. And no matter what you do, you have to have that thought process, because a lot of people what I've noticed is that people don't know, they don't feel that they are where they want to be, and they feel like they're not where they're supposed to be because of that, right? So let me rephrase that. So because you don't feel like where you're supposed to be, you're not where you want to be, okay? That is a wrong way to think about life, because the actions that you do on a daily basis, on a consistent basis rather, is exactly where you're supposed to be. So that phrase that I'm saying here is where you want to be in life is up to you. And based on that decision that you make on where you want to be in life, do you really want it or not? You're always going to be where you're supposed to be. It's always going to be the same destination at the end of the day. So you have these challenges that you consistently go through every single day, where I know many people, and I'm still working corporate, by the way, as I'm saying this, but I'm also realized that, okay, I'm working corporate, but I know this is not the long-term plan for me. So I have a choice what to do with my extra time that I have after my job is done for the day, and spend my time building a career path that I truly want. I think a lot of people are just in this boat that this is the structure of my days. Like, I work 9 to 5, I get off, I may go work out. You know, I have like my normal routine. I come home, I shower, I eat dinner, I watch a Netflix show, and I go to bed and repeat, okay? Like, there's a reason why you're not where you want to be. You are where you're supposed to be. But your actions aren't saying that you want to live a different life. And this isn't for people that love the 9 to 5 job, corporate work, like they feel comfortable, they love what they do, they're okay with the stable income, they're okay with having a boss, you know, tell them how to work, how to live, things like that. Like, this is not for you guys. But for the people that are just dreading every day when they go to work, or they're like, man, like, my job is cool, but I feel like there's more I can offer to the world. Well, you can do something about that. And I think people will get overwhelmed, and including myself, where I had these thoughts of trying to do something on my own for the longest time. And there's a level of just trial and error that you have to go through in life to really figure out what it is that you want. That, like, for example, like, YouTube isn't the first thing for me doing something on my own outside of corporate work. Like, there was multiple failed projects I had, or failed business ideas that I went into, and like 4 or 5 different things, and I realized that it didn't speak to me. It didn't last long because it wasn't something I was truly passionate about. I was just doing it because of maybe the money that it provided me. But you kind of have to go through that process to finally figure out what it is that you want. So for me, when I eventually came across content creation, just putting my thoughts out, it led me to YouTube. And this doesn't feel like work to me, but my point that I'm trying to get at here is that you have to understand that there is a process that comes to phasing out of your 9-to-5 job, but also understand that you're going to be working long hours and sustained hours no matter what you do, but you may as well at least enjoy the process of it. Like for me, it's, between, because like I said, I'm working full time, but I'm also there's not much free time that I have right now. But at the same time, I've never felt more alive in my life. I'm realizing how me doing what I truly want, like that excitement, that passion that I have, I'm noticing my energy is being output into the universe that same way. So now my relationships with new people that come into my life, or existing friendships that I had, or relationships with my parents, or all these things are just growing, right? They're growing, and as that's growing, it fuels you even more, knowing that, okay, I'm working my butt off. I'm not doing all the things I would do last year, the partying, all the stuff that I thought was exciting in my life. Right? I'm genuinely putting so much more work this year, but everything else in my life is also elevating. So you have to keep that in mind when it is that you're pursuing any work. It's not going to go away, okay? But if you don't enjoy what you're doing right now, you don't have to stay in it. You do not have to stay in it. There is so much access to information in the world that we live in today that you can truthfully pursue any career and passion as long as you're solving someone's problems. And I guarantee you, whatever it is that you're truly passionate about, you can find a way to solve someone's problems. And the best way I would recommend doing that, and I know this is slightly off topic from here, but whatever problems that you've been through in your life, you can just explain to other people how you did that. Just know that the work is not going to stop, and you just have to find out what you really love to do. And that takes trial and error. It takes time, but you may as well do that now rather than live a life full of regret and wishing that I did this when I was younger. Just do it now. Like, there's literally no reason not to. It's so much better. I'm telling you, I've found out who really cares for me, who doesn't. A lot of relationships have evolved, whether I've gone closer to certain people and I've grown a bit distant from other people, but at least I'm attracting people with my true self. And that's what you can do too. When you live a life that you don't really want, and you live a life that you don't truly love, you're not going to love yourself, and then you're going to attract the wrong people because of it too. So it all goes hand in hand. Life is just, you got to have everything in sync for everything to go the way that you want it to. So may as well do that. And this is the pioneer way of thinking. Pioneers think of this constantly, where they're like, you know what, I know I got to grind, I know I got to put in work no matter what it is I do in life, but I may as well live a life that doesn't feel like I'm working for. It's just something that I want to do. We all have it inside of us. We're all born with something. I truly believe that. You just got to figure out and experiment and figure out what that is. And the puppets, man, like, I don't want, if you're watching this and you're just living a life you want, like, you're living a puppet lifestyle. Like, you're 100% living a puppet lifestyle. I've lived it, you know what I mean? And like I said, I'm still transitioning out of what I'm doing, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with that, because you got to see money come in. But for you to tell me that you don't have time to dedicate even 30 minutes to an hour to what you really want to do, and not even thinking about it from a career perspective, just do it because you enjoy doing it, and then you'll notice yourself think of new ways to evolve from that point forward. Like, your mind keeps seeing more and more doors open as you just work on what you truly care about. It doesn't happen overnight, but at least enjoy the process of it. Enjoy your life along the way, right? Like the money is gonna come for all of the people that decide to do that and stick with that route for a while. But if you just decide to keep following orders from someone you don't care about, working with people you don't care about, doing the work you're not passionate about, like just don't, like you don't have to do it. Quit being a puppet, you know? So I hope this inspires you guys to realize that 9 to 5 work is never gonna end, but you just gotta keep pushing through, man. Keep pushing through because work is always gonna be there, and try to enjoy it at least. So if you like this video, let me know in the comments below. Share with a friend that's living that life that they don't really love, and they're just working their job and they're lazy, they're complaining, they feel like they're not where they're supposed to be, but their actions don't align with what they really say they want. No, this is for them, for you too. If you're watching that, you know, if you notice that about yourself, ask yourself these questions. It's important. You know, subscribe to me as well, to this channel. It's all about bulletproofing your mind to maximize what life has to offer you. And if you're living a job and lifestyle you don't want to live, how can you expect your mind to grow and become more bulletproof? So anyways, I hope you guys like this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.